What if the symptom isn't a problem, but the clue? What if fatigue, brain fog, hormonal chaos, inflammation, and gut disruption are not random at all, but patterned communication your body has been trying to send you for years? Medicine was taught to listen for isolated symptoms, but I listen to the whole symphony. Women are being told they're fine, everything is normal, while their bodies are quietly fighting to keep up. I'm Dr. Julie Lynn, founder of the system-based pattern mapping solution, and I decode what others miss. Hidden physiological patterns buried beneath normal labs, unexplained symptoms, and years of frustration. This channel is where mystery becomes clarity, clarity becomes power. If this sounds like your healing journey so far, welcome to the channel. And when you're ready, bring me your normal labs and I'll show you what they're missing.
Hi, Dr. Julie Lynn, founder of the systems-based pattern mapping solution, and I help women take the mystery out of their mystery symptoms by identifying the physiological patterns hiding underneath normal labs. And today I want to talk about something that does not get discussed near enough when it comes to women experiencing chronic multi-symptom syndrome and medically unexplained symptoms and pain. And that is that just because your symptoms are common does not make them normal. In fact, the reason you're experiencing the symptoms that you're experiencing is because your body is doing exactly what it was designed to do, which is adapt and compensate in order to keep you functioning. This is a vital part of your physiology. So, why is no one talking about it? Why are so many women feeling disconnected from their bodies? Because no one can explain why they feel the way they feel, but their lives are normal. And more importantly, why are we taught to separate symptoms and trying to manage them individually when that's not how the body works? Your symptoms are not random. I say this all the time. Fatigue rarely travels alone. Neither do hormone symptoms, or gut dysfunction, or anxiety, or inflammation, or brain fog. And yet, women are constantly taught to treat these symptoms as separate problems. Separate specialists, separate protocols, separate explanations. All while what you're really experiencing is multi-system dysfunction due to communication breakdown through multiple systems. This goes beyond managing one symptom. And once you understand that, your symptoms start to make a lot more sense. For a lot of women, this dysfunction cascade often starts out as general fatigue. Then maybe your hormones start to shift, your digestion changes, your nervous system feels overwhelmed, and you stop sleeping deeply. Your body becomes more reactive. You start feeling inflamed, exhausted, anxious, or just unlike yourself. But you keep functioning because women are incredibly skilled at surviving inside a system that is not functioning optimally. They keep showing up, they keep pushing through, they keep carrying their responsibilities, but over time, many women stop asking, why can't I figure this out? And they start asking, what's wrong with me? And that question changes women on such a deep level. And many women don't even realize it's happening. Because when symptoms are dismissed long enough, women often stop trusting their own bodies. But here's the deeper issue. Most women have never been taught to view their symptoms through a system communication lens before. They've been taught to separate everything. Hormones over here, gut issues over there, anxiety in another category, and fatigue gets blamed on stress. But physiology is interconnected. The nervous system affects digestion, inflammation, inflammation affects hormones, energy depletion changes detox capacity, stress physiology alters immune signaling, and the body communicates all this in a network, not isolated parts. Not because the body is chaotic, but because the body is adapting. Let me break this down for you and explain exactly what's happening in the body. You may have experienced long-term cumulative stress load at some point that was never fully resolved. So over time, the nervous system became overwhelmed. The nervous system strain begins changing sleep quality, recovery capacity, digestion, inflammation signaling, and energy regulation. And eventually, energy begins to drop. Now the body starts borrowing energy so it can keep functioning. Hormones become more reactive. Gut symptoms increase and inflammation rises. Brain fog appears, anxiety increases because the nervous system no longer feels regulated. And suddenly, you're not trying to treat gut symptoms, hormones, fatigue, and anxiety separately without realizing these symptoms may all be connected through the same deeper physiological adaptation pattern. This is the most important piece women have been missing. This is why symptom chasing often fails, because if the deeper system communication strain underneath the symptoms is never addressed, the body continues compensating underneath the surface, and women feel this intuitively. If you've been hearing that little voice saying there's more to the story or keep looking for the answers, I want you to honor that, because it was my drive and my determination to understand why these symptom clusters kept coming up time and time again, and my desire to answer why so many women were experiencing these symptoms but continued to have normal labs, that led me to rebuild my work around allostatic load and cumulative stress and the systems-based pattern mapping solution. Because once I stopped viewing symptoms separately, I started seeing recognizable physiological patterns underneath them. Patterns connected to adaptation stress, physiological nervous system overwhelm, inflammation, energy depletion, communication strain, and cumulative physiological burden, not random dysfunction, patterns. And once you finally understand the patterns underneath your symptoms, you stop feeling so disconnected from yourself, because the body has logic even when symptoms feel chaotic. So if this felt familiar, if this is what you've been experiencing, I want to personally invite you to book a free clarity call with me so that you can start to understand what your body has been trying to communicate all along. Again, I'm Dr. Julie Lynn, and when you're ready, bring me your normal labs and I'll show you what they've been missing. Thanks for joining me for this video. Bye for now.
Thanks again for joining me for today's episode. If you want to stay up to date on all the new episodes as they drop, be sure to like and follow. If you know someone who could benefit from this information, please share this episode with them. If you want to learn more about my systems-based pattern mapping solution, I'll leave all the links in the show notes so we can connect. Again, thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.